The 16th century play Macbeth follows the story of a man named, surprise surprise, Macbeth.
Who could have guessed?
The play begins with Macbeth being a noble warrior of the Scottish Empire, serving under King Duncan. He is renowned for being simply built different. One day, as he's going about his daily shenanigans, he encounters 3 witches. These witches give him a prophecy. Macbeth will become king. This encounter with the witches is the turning point for Macbeth's character in the play, as this moment marks the beginning of Macbeth's ambition, which will eventually lead to his destruction at the very end. Because of the prophecy of kingship, coupled with his uncontrollable ambition, Macbeth is driven to the edge. No, not that kind of edge. He goes on to kill his king, Duncan, and since the old king was gone, due to process of elimination, quite literally, Macbeth inherited the title of king. And when he suspects his guy Banquo of moving Bear Oppie, he packs him up too. And due to Macbeth committing these atrocious acts, he loses his sanity and becomes a paranoid man. He even hallucinates the ghost of Banquo even after killing him. And in a final showdown against Macduff, he gets packed up and is put to rest. The fall of Macbeth was not due to recklessness, but due to ambition. I think this applies to more than just content creation. In every video I make, I try to make it better than the last. I try my best to always up the editing or the storytelling or the camera compositioning. I fully understand that in order to make progress, I need to be constantly changing the way I approach things. Last video had a low watch time, so this time I'll put all of my efforts into making the first 30 seconds of the video as engaging as possible. I'm always looking for ways to improve my content. And that's my problem. My problem is ambition. Every single time I'm in the process of making a new video, writing a script, shooting some footage, this negative voice inside of my head always comes out to criticize whatever I'm doing. You're never gonna make it on YouTube at this rate. He always makes me second guess my decisions. Your videos suck. I try to shut him up, but he's relentless. He never lets me enjoy the process of making videos. I can be in the middle of shooting a video and all of a sudden he just starts pouring negative thoughts into my mind. So much so that I give up altogether. His very presence strips away all of the enjoyments I get from YouTube. YouTube's too risky, just get a job.
Shut up!
Even as I'm writing this script, I can't get him out of my head. I wonder to myself, will people even like this video? Who's gonna watch this kid? I feel this constant pressure that if this video doesn't do better than the last, then it sucks. But that's just not true. Or is it? I don't know. But here's what I do know. It's impossible to score a goal every single time. You're bound to miss some shots. Failure is inevitable. You can't always be performing at your best. There's bound to be dips in quality every now and then. But in my mind, if I'm not constantly progressing, then I'm regressing. When I started this YouTube channel, I won't lie, it was partially motivated by monetary success, but originally I was just having fun. I wasn't too concerned about views cause I understood that it was near impossible to see massive growth at the very beginning. However, as one video turned into 2 videos, into 3 videos, into 5 videos, and now into 8 videos, seeing that my channel hasn't been making any growth is pretty discouraging. I expected myself to be in a much better position by now, but it seems like I'm stagnating or even worse, regressing. My subscriber and view count isn't really going up that much. I truly have high expectations for this channel, and so when I fail to meet these expectations, I can't help but reprimand myself for being not good enough. This is the price I pay for ambition. You see, ambition and expectations are directly correlated to one another. The higher one's ambition, the higher one's expectations. 4 years ago, I started a Roblox YouTube channel. In retrospect, when I was making these videos, I was just doing it out of genuine enjoyment. I didn't care much for subscribers or views. I just made the content that I liked, and eventually other people would like it too. This channel is now long gone, but for the time that I had it, I managed to reach 5,000 subscribers. Fast forward to now, on this channel, and 8 videos later, I have 8 subscribers. That's pretty cool, but it's also really frustrating. I mean, do you have any idea of how humiliating it feels? The frustration that I feel is not simply due to not being able to reach expectations I've set for myself, but it's that I've proven to myself that I'm capable of massive growth on YouTube. My previous channel serves as evidence for my skill as a content creator. I've already proven to myself that I'm capable of reaching 5,000 subscribers. So the fact that I can just barely surpass 5 is like a stab in the chest. That's why my expectations are so high. That's why I'm so hard on myself. That's why I have so much ambition. It's because I know I'm capable of what I desire. Just like Macbeth, his ambition only grew because he began to believe in the prophecies of the witch. He began to believe that he was capable, worthy of becoming king. But I don't want to end up like Macbeth. I don't want a tragic ending. I'm not insinuating that I'll end up committing murder like Macbeth, but what I am saying is that I don't want to end up being consumed by my own ambition, wrapped up in self-misery and self-pity for failing to meet grand expectations I've set for myself. I think I've been looking at this whole ordeal in the wrong way. This voice in my head that pours negative thoughts into my mind, that reprimands me when I mess up, that makes me doubt my work, is a lot more benevolent than I give it credit for. This voice is not a voice of pure negativity, but rather a voice of criticism. Whether this criticism is constructive or destructive is entirely down to how I interpret it. The reason why I can't settle for mediocrity, the reason why I have so much ambition, the reason why I set my expectations so high is because this voice in my head knows I'm capable of more, and so when I fall short of my potential, he punishes me. But this voice only wants what's best for me. Had it not been for him, then my ambition would completely cease. The worst decision I could make is that amidst all of this self-doubt and guilt, I would give up on my true desires. Of course, this all goes without saying that this dark voice inside of my head does get a bit overzealous from time to time, but if I can learn to listen to it instead of suppressing it, then undoubtedly I'll find that it can serve as a dependable means of guidance. I'm a lot more fortunate than I realize. I have a voice in my head that relentlessly urges me towards improvement. Now, I will admit, too much ambition is bad for you. Being too ambitious can lead to a person biting off more than they can chew. Or more commonly, when a person has large levels of ambition but suppresses it due to societal norms and expectations, they often find themselves miserable later on in life. We don't want that for ourselves. There's this passage in a book called The Winning Attitude. It reads, "To laugh is to risk appearing the fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out to another is to risk involvement. To place your ideas, your dreams before the crowd is to risk their loss. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To live is to risk dying. To hope is to risk despair. To try is to risk failure." It then goes on to say, "But risk must be taken, because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing, does nothing, has nothing, and is nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrow, but he simply cannot learn, grow, feel, change, love, live. Chained by his certitudes, he is a slave. He has forfeited freedom."